I'm in Tbilisi, Georgia now. And I was supposed to meet a friend here, but he got delayed, so I'm kind of just on my own. And let's just do some raw vlogging. You know, my last couple videos were too organized, so let's just do some random stuff and see what happens. I'm not even sure what's cool to check out in the city, so we'll explore. I can see some castles and fortresses up on the hills, so I'll try and walk over to those and see them closer. Go down some side streets, check out some food. Should be fun. Okay, the city is getting more interesting now that I'm here. It's opening up more, it looks more interesting architecturally, so positive vibes. I can't remember the last time that I hiked up to some European castle on a hillside and it wasn't hot out. Seems like it's always hot when I'm doing this. Whew. Yeah, I'm all sweaty, but it's okay. We got good viewpoints up here. Finally managed to find a place where there's no other people. I always strive for that. It feels more uncharted this way. But it's hot. Found a small tree here to hide under. Get in the shade for at least a couple of minutes. I don't think I can do this all day. It's too hot out. Obviously people will come up here, but I'm the only one here right now, so that feels special. Oh, but I'm not alone. There's something down here. Of course, if you don't want to walk like I did, you can take the easier transportation up there. It's a bit too touristy in this area. Better get somewhere else. Let's try to get over to this big church. Right, where is it? Right here. Let's go over to this church. What are my honest opinions of this church? I've been around the world, I've seen some of the world's best churches, and honestly this one's really nice. It is beautiful, of course. It's got a great location up on the hill, nice property around it. My favorite part is that it's not overly crowded, because you go to some of these other churches around the world that are super famous and there's just so many people, you feel like you're at like Disneyland or something. It's really annoying. So this is cool because it's not like super packed with people. Now, unfortunately, I am not dressed to go inside of the church. I would have to cover up a little bit more to be respectful. So I guess you don't get to see the inside. Sorry. This place is pretty dead. We're gonna come back at night and see if it's different. It's unfortunate that there's a really nice river running through the city here, but it's just so hard to get away from the cars. You think they could build like a pedestrian boulevard, a nice place to peacefully walk along the river, but it seems like it's really just hard to get away from the cars in this city. That's the biggest drawback that I've noticed so far. There's some parks, I know, but really they need more like big pedestrian areas just to get some peace and quiet. Well, this is my home for 2 weeks. It's really not a bad little apartment, except for the fact that I'm pretty sure the entire place is like angled, like maybe the entire building, not just my unit. So I feel like there's a slant and it makes me a little bit nervous and it just freaks me out, but for 2 weeks, it'll be okay. Well, we're back to exploring now. I just noticed that there's this water coming down these walls here. So I guess it's like an old fortress wall, and I wouldn't have even noticed there if it didn't kind of catch my attention. So if that running water hadn't caught my attention, I probably would have walked right past that and not even known it's there. That's what I love about Europe, is all the history that's just hidden around every corner. Well, I don't know how to get in here. We're gonna have to keep exploring. This is one of the few pedestrian boulevards in the city that you can actually walk in the streets without there being cars. So it's kind of nice, but I wish there was more spaces like this, or that this one was larger. Okay, to be fair, maybe there are other places like this, I just haven't found them yet. So this bathhouse right here that we're coming up on is supposed to be famous. I don't know the history behind it, but it's relevant somehow. Those guys from that little roadside bar were telling me about that, but I think I drank too much cha-cha, so I can't remember the details of it. But this is kind of a cool little part of town right here. I'll link that video. It's gonna be a separate video about food and drinks, I think. So I'll link that video here when it's completed. Let's go down there. This is weird because nobody else is going in here. Guess I'm the only one. It's kind of a cool little tunnel. Got a bunch of like goofy Christmas lights and stuff, but it's cool. There's a bunch of art in here, which I don't really care about, but the tunnel itself is really interesting, and I had no idea that it was here, so it's a really cool surprise. And it gets a little bit sketchy in some places. Actually, low coverage here, you gotta watch your head. That was a fun little surprise. That's a really cool tunnel. Had no idea that that thing even existed. So it pays to explore sometimes. Well, I'm gonna try these streets again. It's 8:30 at night, so you think it'd be more lively, but it still looks kind of dead. But maybe I'll just grab a drink and call it a night. I think that's where we'll wrap up the video, so. But wait, hold on. I didn't give my overall impressions of the city yet. So is it good, is it bad? Should you visit, should you live here? Let's talk about that real quick. My honest review of the city of Tbilisi is that it's not necessarily good or necessarily bad in many ways. It's just very, very average. I think a lot of people are drawn here because it's relatively inexpensive to live compared to other places. It's very multicultural and friendly to English-speaking people, and most countries don't need a visa to come here. So for those reasons, it's popular for people to come stay long-term. But if you're looking for like a vacation destination, the city's just not, it's not really glamorous. It's not really exciting. So maybe if you're trying to work in a foreign country, maybe this is a good place for you. If you're a digital nomad, but if you're just looking for like a fun travel destination, I'm not really seeing it. But that's okay. It's not to say it's a bad city. Again, it's just very, very average. So that's my opinion. And make sure you check out my second video on Tbilisi. It's going to be like food and alcohol oriented. And then surprise announcement. I just decided this recently. I'm going back to Thailand, so that's where my next adventure is going to be. And I will see you there. And you know I love Thailand, so that's going to be fun. See you there.